mentioned, and a sub fee, you shouldn't have to pay for items too. Store mounts are a cancer to the game.
Whoa,
2 days
trigger
before
warning.
Quarter 2 ends, by the way. And that, for me, is the really interesting topic. It's definitely a transparent effort by Blizzard Activision to increase their financial numbers right before the deadline so they can report that to their shareholders. How does this work? Well,
let me explain something right now. If you have to justify a decision that you make that affects the game with a business logic answer like, oh, it's just to make money, or oh, it's for quarter 2 or whatever, you are making a bad decision. If you can't make a decision or you can't rationalize something with an in-game positive for the players, you have already lost the connection that you have with your player base, and everything else you're going to do is going to be straight down the fucking tubes. That's all there is to it. Companies should never make profit at the expense of their own brand. It's bad business.
In order to get this mount in the store, you have to do a 6-month sub. Now,
wow.
Just like Asmongold, I already do the 6-month sub anyway.
Yeah.
The idea is you get a small discount from $89 a month. I'm sorry, $89 to $74. So if you pay for 6 months in advance, you save what? 15%? Oh, 13%. It's right there. But what happens is World of Warcraft now pulls all this money forward.
$12.06.
Right? They pull all this money forward to inflate their Q2 numbers because they have a big influx of cash. The problem is at the end of quarter 2, going into quarter 3, all that money that they would have had then, now they've borrowed from penny to pay Paul, or whatever the saying is.
They're like, you don't worry about that. That's happening next month. We don't need to think about next month because we got to think about right fucking now. See, that's the way that these companies do things. They don't even think like, listen, they think literally like what's right in front of them. They don't even think like this. They're like this. Pay Paul. No, not that, Paul. It's what the shareholders want. I can guarantee you that if you were to explain to the shareholders the system that they're using and the way that players feel about the system and the unrest that players are feeling and the declining trust that players have with the company that they are invested in, I bet the investors would have a different perspective. The only reason that investors think this is a good idea is because they're too stupid to know any better.
You know, they've pulled it off. So now in quarter 3, they're going to have to do something else. So now they're going to have to come up with another amount or another reason to get you to pay up front for the game. And this is not a good system. I believe Asmongold correctly